Jane Laurie from Climate Friendly Bradford yet again. I'm sorry. We are a very active group. Plug there. First of all, we wanted to make sure that any future housing developments fit in and are absorbed in the town, and that there's adequate infrastructure to accompany them. So that might be things like making sure that schools and police are involved in planning, for extra children likely to be attending school, that the roads are there, that there's local jobs, all that sort of thing. That it's not enough just to plan for the housing. The second area we were concerned about was to do with fuel poverty, the high proportion of non-decent homes. It may not be that dissimilar to the rest of Wiltshire, but 33% of homes being non-decent is pretty high. We shouldn't be taking that for granted. And one of the particular problems is to do with our ageing population. And I think that didn't come out quite strongly enough in the initial presentation by Maggie, which was excellent. But actually looking at the number of retired people we've got in Bradford and the way that is likely to increase, it's a real bonus because there's loads of people who've got time to do stuff, but it's also a danger because people, as they get older, find it harder to maintain their homes and to actually do the work that's required. And linked to that is the need to tackle fuel poverty to make sure that the substandard homes are able to access the grants to insulate and that sort of thing that are out there. Then the issue of affordable housing and the need to provide adequate housing for vulnerable families was also raised. And to a certain extent, although Bradford seems to be relatively well off compared to the rest of Wiltshire as regards affordable housing, to a certain extent it might be hidden with some families with lots of children being in quite a cramped house with an inadequate space, or people actually moving away because they can't afford to stay in Bradford. And it was pointed out, particularly with regards to the boats and the canal, that we should really be looking at the boats as a resource. It is likely to be a low carbon choice. For many people, it's a positive choice, and there is a real threat at the moment to the boats on our canal, because the British Waterways regulations now are trying to make them move further afield, up and down. And one of the suggestions made was that maybe it's possible to provide places where they can more longer term. And I've written down here that there's local authority government grants for local authorities to help in doing this. And I think there was a general feeling that providing the opportunity to live in a boat in Bradford was really positive. It was an option for people on low incomes, and they contribute a lot to the community. Oh, and the final one, it was pointed out that there were quite a few vacant homes around and something needed to be done about them, and were assured that Wiltshire Council knows about them and is doing something, but it was just felt that people didn't know that that's what was